Hello, online sellers. This is Jordan Malik from jordanmalik.com. You probably know me from my ebooks or Find Spotter or my Ask Jordan podcast or my blog, Honest Online Selling. Want to talk to you today about shopping for back-to-school merchandise to resell on Amazon. Very, very excited about this because this is the first time I've taken a close look at the back-to-school shopping season. A lot of surprises in here that you don't know about. And I'm lucky enough that I got my hands on Jessica LaRue's latest webinar training for back to school. And it's if you just want to jump ahead and skip all this, you just go to jordanmalik.com/school to get to her webinar, and it's $47. It's also half price. It's $23.50 if you're already a member of Jessica LaRue's Amazon Bootcamp, ABC Bootcamp, Amazon Bootcamp. And if you're not a member of that, it's at jordanmalik.com/course3. You get a coupon code if you're a member of the Amazon Bootcamp that cuts the price for the back-to-school selling webinar training down to $23.50. So just go to jordanmalik.com/school and look for the Buy Now button. But I want to share a lot of information with you in these two videos, and you don't have to buy anything to learn from this. So look, back to school is almost everybody's buying. Parents, kids, students, grandparents. If you're not a person who's buying, you're demanding. So college students are going back to school, need certain books. Toddlers need a certain backpack. Teenage students need to look cool and buy, certain clothes or certain accessories. Everyone needs it now. There's, the big deadline of school starting in September is looming, even though we're 2-3 months ahead of that. And the cost of products, generally, if there is a higher price, it's associated, it's a higher price because it's of better quality, and better quality is what my child needs, so I'm going to pay for that. And that's why it's such a unique holiday for you as an Amazon seller and even an eBay seller. You'll learn from this too, on how to cash in on the upcoming holiday. I'm going to show you how. This is from the National Retailers Federation. So this is not some fake data. The back-to-school college spending, it's not really considered a holiday, but it's a season. The back-to-school, back-to-college spending season is the second biggest spending for consumers in terms of retail-oriented holidays, right behind the winter holidays. You see how huge this is here. Of course, Christmas trumps everybody. Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever other major seasonal holidays that are in the wintertime is a 600 billion marketplace. Back to school is second place, 83 billion, bigger than Halloween. That surprised me in terms of retail spending. I thought Halloween was like number 2 or number 3, and Halloween is way back here. So I know for me personally, Halloween is huge. And that's why I like this back to school season so much, is one of the reasons. Remember that your target consumers is almost everybody. Like I said earlier in the earlier slide, everybody's buying. College and high school students, grandparents want to get the best for their grandchildren. Kids are demanding certain things from moms. There's curriculum that needs to be fulfilled for, students need specific textbooks or notebooks or writing instruments or whatever. Schools have very set curricula and supplies requirements that parents have to adhere to before they send their kids to school. And even work at home moms or moms or dads that are going back to school, this is all a huge opportunity for them to buy stuff, and that's where you fit in as a seller. Back to school merchandise has what I call price sensitivity busters. So in most cases, parents and college students and grandparents, etc., will pay a premium for products. They don't do a lot of shopping around necessarily. They do what's convenient for them. And as you know, Amazon Prime or ordering on eBay is very convenient for them. Demand is anxious level high. People get very anxious with the back to school season. They want to be able to buy products that are going to help them learn, or they perceive the products are going to help them learn, so they get the anxiety level and they're willing to dole out more money for a purchase. Amazon Prime allows sellers like me or you to raise our prices accordingly versus the rest of the year, maybe with the exception of Christmas. Items that would have normally sold for, say, $10 year-round can be sold during the back-to-school season for $12 or $13 because of that increase. That's just pure pricing and economics dynamics. It's nothing to do with cheating the system. It's just supply and demand. So how I crushed it in 2013, I didn't put a lot of focus on back to school like I am going to do this year, thanks to Jessica LaRue's webinar. But how I crushed it in previous years, including 2013, was through used textbooks and items that I sourced for $1 to $5, mostly at liquidation stores and clearance aisles in big retail stores or grocery stores that I was then able to sell for 4 to 10 times. When I say 4 to 10 times, I don't mean I sourced it for $1 and sold it for $4. I mean I sourced it for $1 and I sold it for 10, or I sourced it for $5 and sold it for $20. That's what I mean when I say 4 times to 10 times. I mean you're talking about huge ROI of 3 to 4 to 500%. And here's some examples I want to show you. Here's my profit proof. This is from back to school season last year. This is a book light. Okay, so now when I'm going through these product examples, I want you to be thinking of, gee, why is this product in demand? Okay, and think about the back to school season and who it applies to. It applies to such a variety of consumers and buyers. Okay, a book light is one of those little flex neck book lights I picked up at a liquidation store, and it's battery operated. You use it to shine light on a book when you're reading at night. You don't want to disturb other students, for instance, in your dorm or whatever. I paid $5. It sold for $21.95. So this is a hardcover book printed in the year 2000. I sold this in September 14th of 2013. I got this textbook for $1 at a garage sale. If you look through my blog at honestonlineselling.com, there's a lot of references to doing garage sales or buying used books through other venues like libraries or bookstores, thrift stores like Goodwill or Salvation Army, etc. I paid $1. It sold for $19.95. Now, if you're wondering, Jordan, this has nothing to do with new in-store merchandise. I'm going to get to that mostly in the second video, but I want to show you previously how I crushed it. And in the second video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to crush it this year, combined with these types of products, these types of used books, etc. Here's another book. I paid $1. It's used. Another year 2000. Students aren't buying the most current textbooks. The demand for textbooks and learning books increases uniformly when back to school season, because some colleges or schools are demanding students buy copies of previously printed editions. Sometimes a student can't afford the latest edition. You talk to anybody whose kids are in college these days, the textbooks are running them $150, $250, $350 for a textbook. Some students are buying previous editions to save money. And there's probably some schools, I would assume a lot of public schools maybe, or community colleges, that rely on previous editions for their teaching curriculum. So this I paid $1 for. It sold for $19.95. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's $19.95 there. Crayon Stylists. These are the little styluses that you buy, that people buy to use on their iPad or phone. It's a stylus. It's like a little it looks like a tiny pencil. And instead of you using your fingers, you can more accurately use a stylus. I use my fingers. But I found this at a liquidation store. You've heard me in my blog and seen me in my blog talking a lot about liquidation stores. I think I bought 20 of these. They were $1 each. They're branded with the Crayola brand symbol, but it's a stylus for your iPad or your Kindle or whatever. I paid $1, and I think I bought 20 of these, and I sold each one for $8.95. Leaving me a net profit of $3 to $4 a piece. Flashcards. Remember who we're talking about here. We're talking about students. Students need to brush up on their learning skills. And I paid $2 also at I think it was actually closeout in a Target, and I got it for $9.95. So net profit is probably $3 on that. Mickey. Okay, this is very interesting. If you go look and find this on Amazon, this is currently actually selling for like $31. This is a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Mickey and Minnie Learn and Grow blocks that I bought new at a major drugstore chain here in the Northeast. And what's interesting is I think I paid $5 for it, and I sold mine July 31st for $15.95. Now I know what you're thinking, Jordan, this is Clubhouse Learn and Grow blocks. This really isn't back to school. Well, sure it is, because everybody's getting involved. with school. So parents are starting to teach their toddlers how to count or learn the basic 1, 2, 3s, etc. They're prepping them for kindergarten or preschool or whatever you call it, right? And if they're not doing that, if the infant in the house has older brothers and sisters that are going back to school, well, the parents want, or the grandparents want to include their littlest one too, and they get them some learning material. So demand overall increases for this sort of thing. So right now, this item is actually, when I looked at this, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Mickey and Minnie Learning Grow Blocks, it's like $31, and I paid $5 for it at Walgreens shortly before I sold it. The Leappad, you know, these things you can find throughout thrift stores or yard sales. The Leappad books. Leappad is the electronic learning device that they stopped making years ago. Well, people are still buying them used. The Leappad itself, the electronic unit itself, and the cartridges to help their kids learn. And this one was a book, one of the cartridges and books that accompanies the Leappad. I paid $1, sold it for $11.50. I got it at a thrift store. Here's a picture of it, The Smart Guide to 4th Grade. This is the picture of the book, and looks like there's a cartridge there too. Here's an actual Little Touch Leappad. This is the learning device, the electronic learning device that speaks when you put the book into it, and it's got a stylus for the kid. It's aimed at, I don't know, kids 3 to 7 years old or something. And it was actually the box was banged up, but the contents were brand new. I sold it for $100. I got it at a garage sale, and here's a book that they bought to go with it, $14. It was also mine. I paid like $5 for the Leappad itself, and I probably paid $1 for the book, so I paid $6. My total for that order was $113 on Amazon. Here's a picture of the Leappad today. That's what it looks like, and this is one of the books. You can find these books a dime a dozen now in thrift stores, and even the collectible ones, meaning used, are selling for, $8, $9, $10, $12. You can buy them for $1 a piece. Okay. Here's another Learning Leap book, Hit It Maestro interactive book and cartridge. I bought it new. It was still in the package at a thrift store. I paid $1. It sold for $15.18. Here's what it looks like here. Okay, so these things are still in demand. Here's a paperback from 1980 something. The 8 is cut off here, so it's 1980 something. It's your basic book about problem solving with math. And I paid $1 for it. It sold, I don't know if you can see it, sold for $28.70. And this is what the book looks like here. Okay, even now, it's also the price has gone up. The lowest price used is $37. See how prices are increasing as we get closer to the back to school season. We're actually in the back to school shopping season right now, and it lasts through. I typically do very, very good with school oriented products right through September. So that's the first video. To get to the second video, just go to jordanmalik.com/school. The page will look like this, and scroll down and you'll see a link to the second video, and we'll get more in depth of this back to school webinar, how it's going to help you selling on Amazon this year. So we'll see you in the other video.